Hey everyone, welcome to another video. This video is a part of a new tutorial series that we are starting on our channel. In this tutorial series, we are going to learn all the essential tools and concepts that you need to learn to become a competent Android app developer. And today's topic is RecyclerView. So what is RecyclerView and why should you care about it? See, every app that you use displays a scrollable list of items, be it utility apps like Todoist and Pocket, or social media and entertainment apps like Instagram or Facebook. And the most efficient tool in Android programming to display a scrollable list of items is the RecyclerView. So we will head over to Android Studio and see how it works and how to implement it. So in this video, we are going to recreate this contact list UI from scratch. Now there are two ways to do this. Either you can use a list view, or you can use a recycler view, which we will learn in this video. Now let's cover some basics first. Let's go to this itemview.xml file. Wait, we will start from scratch, but let me talk about some concepts first. So the basics. What are views? Views are the building blocks of UI in Android. You must have come across different views such as text view, edit text, button. These are all views. Linear layout and constraint layout are also views, but they are what's called view groups. View groups are views which can contain other views. Recycler view and list view are two such view groups. What's the difference between using a list view and a recycler view? If you use a list view to contain, let's say, 100 items, then the list view will create 100 view objects for these 100 items. Okay? Even if at a time only 5 items are visible on the screen, the list view will create 100 view objects if you have 100 items in the list. But recycler view will only create 5 view objects if 5 items are visible on the screen at a time, and then recycle those views to contain the other items. So it will be much more efficient that way. So let us begin by creating a new project in Android Studio. So I will create a new project. I will select empty activity and we will name it, let's say, contacts register. We will let Android Studio set up everything for us. Step 1 is to plan the layout. So go to the activity main.xml file in your res folder, and by default the activity main.xml file contains a constraint layout within which there is a text view. But we don't need that because we want the entire layout to contain the recycler view. The entire screen will contain a recycler view in this case. So we will remove the text view and we will replace the constraint layout with the recycler view like this. And then let's see what we can change, what changes we can make. We can give it an ID. I will name it contact list. That's it. That's all the changes we are going to make to activity main.xml. Now we need to design how each element in the list is going to look like and behave. For that we will define a new layout, itemview.xml. We will create the layout for each individual element in a separate layout file. Select the layout folder and create a new layout resource file, and I will name it itemview.xml. Now in this itemview.xml, let's design how each individual element of our list is going to look like. Okay, so we don't need a constraint layout. We will use a linear layout for this. We don't want the height of the linear layout to contain the entire screen, so we will change the match pattern to wrap content. We will set the orientation of the linear layout. I will set its orientation to horizontal. Now we will add 2 text views. Both height and width will be wrap content. You can keep the text anything because it will be replaced by the data in the dataset. And these 2 text views represent, the first text view is for the contact name and the second is for the contact number. Create another text view. I will set its text to 000. I will set its ID to contact name. The second text whose ID will be contact number. Okay, that's not how IDs are written. You have to write @ID/. Let's see how this looks. Well, we can change the appearance of both the text views as well. So I will set the first text view's text appearance to be headline. Okay, and I will set the second text view's appearance to be body 1. So it's going to look like this. But I don't want them to be side by side or horizontally aligned. I want them to be vertically aligned, but our parent linear layout is horizontal orientation, has an horizontal orientation. So we will create another linear layout within this linear layout, which vertical orientation, like this linear layout, app content, orientation will be vertical, and okay, we will not end this here. We'll close the, okay, then we'll create a button, and the text of the button will be call. Let's see, and let's see how it looks. So that's why I set the orientation of the parent linear layout to be horizontal, because I wanted the button to be aligned horizontally, but these two text views should be aligned vertically. Okay, now there needs to be some distance between these two areas, right? The button should be to the right corner. How do we push the button to the right? There's a way to do that. We will add a view in between these two sections. I will add a view, an empty view, and set its layout width to be wrap content and height to be 0, because this is just an empty view. It will take space in between. Okay, that's the problem. 0 dp, and we will set its layout weight to be 1. Now this serves an important purpose. Now if we go to design, we can see our button is pushed to the right. Now setting layout weight 1 tells our program that this empty view should take up as much space as possible, basically. So it takes all the space in between these two sections and pushes the button to the right. That's exactly what we wanted. And also we should put some margin. We should give some margin to our list, to our linear layout, because it's really touching the edges of the screen, the button and the text view. So I will set padding. We'll give it some padding, not margin. I will give a padding of 16 dp. Then if we see the design, looks better, looks much better. Each individual element will have a contact name, a contact number, and a call button, and we will feed data to our program, and it will generate a lot of items for us in the form of a list. We'll do that using RecyclerView. Okay, step 2, edit Gradle files. Now we'll go to our Gradle file, and we will go to the one which says module. We'll add some things in our Gradle file. First, I will add, in the plugins section, I will add ID, Kotlin Android extensions, and in the dependencies section, I will add implementation RecyclerView. So this allows us to use RecyclerView as well as Kotlin extensions in our program. We'll use those. So after that, click sync now and let the Gradle file sync. Once that is done, we can move on to step 3. Step 3 is creating the adapter class. In Android, an adapter is the bridge between the UI components and data source that helps us fill the data in the UI components, also called data binding. This whole process is called data binding, filling the data in the UI components. Okay. So in RecyclerView, adapter creates a ViewHolder objects, which are wrappers around views that contain layouts for each individual item in the list. So let's create a new content class called MyAdapter in your project subfolder. So I will create a new content class and I will name it MyAdapter. And our MyAdapter class will contain another class. It will contain another class. So we'll let inner class, because we are creating a class within a class. So inner class MyViewHolder. A ViewHolder, as the name suggests, holds the views. Like I explained in the beginning, it holds different views and then recycles those views to contain other items. In the parentheses, I will write what kind of data we pass to the MyViewHolder. I will let item view, and I will inherit RecyclerView.viewHolder. We will also add some references to the views that we declared in our itemView.xml file, layout file, that we will use later. In the itemView.xml file, we have two text views, contact name and contact number, right? We will reference those here, like this. We will let variable contact name equals item view dot find view by id. It is a text view, of course, and the id is contact name. Similarly, we will reference another variable, contact number, item view dot find view by id. It's a text view, and the id is contact number. Alright, now we'll make our MyAdapter class inherit RecyclerView.adapter class. Okay, so just add a colon and then write RecyclerView.adapter, and we'll pass MyViewHolder to it. MyAdapter.myViewHolder. We'll pass it. Okay, then you will get an error. This is important. Place your cursor here and then click on the red bulb. You will get two options: implement members and make MyAdapter abstract. You will have to choose the first option, which is implement members, and then it will give you the option to implement all these member functions. Select them all and then click on OK, and it will automatically generate 3 important member functions for us. Now we will edit these 3 member functions, but first we need to go to step 4, which is creating a data class. So we'll head over to our main activity.kt file. Okay. Now what is a data class? A data class is a class that only contains data and does not perform any operations. So it is simply a class that contains data. So in the main activity.kt, we will create a data class. We will name it contact. So we'll create a data class contact. We'll name it contact. And we'll pass 2 variables in the parentheses. First will be title string, and the second will be number. Oh, not number. Number will be int. Okay. Alright. So we just simply created a data class. Now in our myAdapter.kt file, we will change the parameter of our myAdapter class to take in the data class that we just created. So I will write variable contacts list. It will take a list of contacts. Contact is the data class that we created, and our myAdapter will take a list of that data class. So let's start adding code to the 3 member functions of the adapter class one by one, starting with onCreateViewHolder. As the name suggests, this function basically describes what is going to happen when the view holder is created. So what needs to happen once a view holder is created? It needs to hold a view, and we will derive that view from the itemView.xml that we just designed earlier. Okay. To do that, we will use something called the layout inflator. Okay, so I will write layout inflator. Layout inflator basically converts XML code into Java or Kotlin objects. So it turns XML into Kotlin. You can think of it like that. Objects which can be rendered on the screen. Okay. Create a new variable, inflator, and I will set it equal to layout inflator dot from parent.context. Okay, and the variable view will be equal to inflator dot inflate r dot layout dot item view, and we'll give it some more parameters, parent and false. And then we will make this function return MyViewHolder. Okay. So we have defined in this function what is to be done once the view holder is created. Okay. But how will the data that is to be filled in the views reach the adapter class? How will it reach the adapter class? For that, we will create a list called contacts in the parameters of our myAdapter class, which we have already done. We have created a list named contacts, which contains a list of the contact data class. Okay. The next member function that we will edit is the getItemCount, which simply returns the number of items in the list contacts. Okay. So getItemCount simply returns contacts.size. Okay. We created a list contacts, and getItemCount simply returns its size, how many items there are in it. So two member functions have already been created. As the name suggests, onBindViewHolder binds the view holder to the views to the view holder. So So we will write holder dot contact name dot text equals to contacts position dot title, and then holder dot contact number dot text equals to contacts position dot number dot toString, because the number is an integer but we have to pass a string, so dot toString. Okay, there is something wrong here. And what does it say? We have a problem here. We didn't add the brackets here. Okay, so then now there are no errors in our MyAdapter class. So our adapter is ready. Now how are we going to implement this adapter? That's step 6, implementing the adapter in the main activity.kt file. So we have already created a data class in the main activity file. Let's create the data that we will pass, or the data that we will fill in our list, in our recycler view. So I will create a variable myContacts, and it will be a mutable list of course, the contact data class that we created. Now let's add items to this list. So I will simply write myContacts dot add. We will add a contact data class. Set the name to Elon Musk, let's say, and the number, right? Similarly, I will add another contact or another item to the list. We are going to add a lot of items so that it's a scrollable list of items. So now we have enough items in the list to be able to create a scrollable list. So activity main.xml, you will notice that we set the ID of our recycler view to be contact list, right? So we will reference that here now. I mean, we have already created the adapter class, but we will create an instance of that adapter class now. We set the ID to be contact list, so we'll reference that contact list dot adapter equals my adapter. We'll pass in my contacts here. And then we will create another variable, which will be we will not create another variable. We will set contact list dot layout manager. Every recycler view has an adapter and a layout manager. So we are setting that right now. We will set its layout manager to be a linear layout manager, and we'll pass this. Alright, so our app is ready. So let's run it and see if we get any errors. We'll fix the errors if we get them. The layout manager is responsible for measuring and positioning the item views within the recycler view. So it lays out the items in a grid. Okay, there is an error. No value passed. Okay, this should solve our problem. Just click on it and you will see the red bulb, and it says add constructor parameters for ViewHolder. And it will be ViewHolder item view. So this should solve our problem. And also I will keep this class at the end and not at the top. So I will move it here. Okay, now we are good to go. Now let's rerun the app. Alright, so as we can see, our scrollable list of items is ready. That's how it looks. And that's how you use recycler view basically. You create the view holder and then bind data to the view holder, and you use a data class. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for more amazing tutorials like this one. And did you know that you can also create Android apps using Python? I made a few tutorials about it. You can go check it out if that sounds interesting to you. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.